Incredible as it may seem, these bridges truly exist. They soar high above dizzying landscapes, carving bold paths through clouds and time. Today, on the TopFacts channel, you will see structures capable of leaving even seasoned travelers speechless. Enjoy the show. In the southwest of China, amid emerald mountains, an ethereal dragon appears to hang weightlessly, the elegant Ruyi Bridge. Twisting through the air, this glass arch stretches almost 100 meters and hovers approximately 140 meters above the floor of a rushing gorge. The Chinese themselves liken its silhouette to the magical Ruyi scepter, a symbol of luck and prosperity. Half-transparent deck panels lure the brave to peer into the abyss beneath their feet, and thousands of tourists arrive each year to test the seemingly fragile yet reliable glass against their own courage. And if Ruyi opens our journey across the Asian sky, the next masterpiece carries us to the shores of a mist-veiled Pacific Bay. In the distant 37th year of the 20th century, San Francisco gave the world the longest suspension bridge of its era, the legendary Golden Gate. Its scarlet silhouette is strung between headlands like a violin string, spanning more than 2.7 kilometers and linking the eastern and western shores of the eponymous bay. To raise this fiery orange giant, engineers laid about 880,000 tons of steel and more than 1,200,000 cubic meters of concrete. Immortalized on film, the Golden Gate lives not only on screen. The famous San Francisco Marathon finishes here, and at night thousands of LEDs turn the bridge into a sparkling coral cluster that refuses to disappear even in heavy ocean fog. Let us step away from California's busy roads to a place where cars suddenly dive underwater and boats glide above the asphalt. The Dutch are on friendly terms with water, but on Highway A28, that friendship is taken to the extreme. The Veluwemeer Aqueduct, a canal bridge, lets the river flow leisurely right over a bustling road. The watery arch is about 25 meters long, 19 meters wide, and roughly 3 meters deep. Instead of draw spans or tunnels, architects chose a daring solution. Allow boats to skim across the calm surface on top, while cars race below and pedestrians stroll along a separate path, confident that Dutch engineering is as dependable as their dikes. After this watery illusion, it is time to meet a bridge that knows how to blink. Across the River Tyne, Newcastle and Gateshead join like one eyelid meeting another. The pedestrian-cyclist Millennium Bridge unfurls two steel arcs. A horizontal walkway and a vertical support form gigantic eyelids. A hydraulic system tilts the structure 40 degrees in only 4.5 minutes, letting vessels up to 25 meters tall pass beneath. Since its ceremonial opening by Queen Elizabeth II, this cybernetic eye has received a Royal Institute of British Architects Award and become an icon of modern Tyneside. Yet if the blinking bridge astounds with artistic motion, the next engineering attraction is famed for its seeming leap straight into the sky. Upon Lake Nankoumi in Japan rises the Eshima Ohashi, reputed to be the most frightening bridge in the world. From afar, the climb looks so steep that cars appear ready to slide backward. In reality, the grade does not exceed 6%, and vehicles ascend calmly while sizable maritime craft sail below its spans. A deceptive perspective turned this marvel into an internet star. The photograph of the roller coaster road circled the globe, proving that sometimes camera angles forge legends. While some bridges play with illusion, others twist reality outright, lifting ships the way elevators lift bicycles. In Falkirk, Scotland, engineers embodied ancient mechanisms in a colossal steel gear. The Falkirk Wheel, inspired by a Celtic axe, evens the elevation gap between the Forth and Clyde and Union Canals. Two equal caissons fixed on 15-meter arms rotate with a massive 35-meter gear. Thanks to Archimedes' principle, the weight of water is always balanced, so a full turn consumes roughly the energy required to boil 8 kettles. The wheel became a national symbol, even appearing on a Bank of Scotland banknote, and each year 500,000 guests enjoy an hour-long tour, feeling like captains of airborne vessels. The next bridge is not forged of metal at all. It is alive, breathing, and renewed every spring by the hands of an entire people. High in the Peruvian Andes, where swift rivers slash deep canyons, spans the impressive yet seemingly fragile Queswachaka Bridge. Its supports are thick bundles of sun-dried ichu grass braided by hand without a single nail. For many centuries, it has linked the villages of the Quechua people. Each spring, residents hold a sacred ceremony. They dismantle the worn ropes and communally weave new ones, passing the craft's secret down the generations. To them, Queswachaka is not merely a path across a chasm. It is a living symbol of communal spirit and reverence for ancestors. Now we travel to France, where a bridge strives not downward but upward, soaring above one of Europe's deepest valleys. Above the Tarn Valley, tucked in the heart of France, floats the Millau Viaduct, the tallest cable-stayed bridge on Earth. 7 giant piers, with a combined mass of 19,000 tons, support a 2.5-kilometer roadway up to 343 meters high, taller than the Eiffel Tower. Instead of descending into the gorge and climbing out again, engineers simply drew the road straight across, saving travelers precious hours. Today, Millau rivals the Eiffel Tower for the title of France's most awe-inspiring monument and opens a new chapter in the journals of daring road trippers. While Millau hovers among clouds, Germany hides a bridge about which legends whisper that only the devil himself could have built it. Tales murmur that the ruler of the underworld himself laid this stone crescent, for the waters here refuse to bear ordinary supports. In Germany's Kromlau Park, Rakotzbr&uuml forms a weightless arc over a quiet pond, casting a perfect reflection like an enchanted mirror. The jagged rocks shaping the bridge resemble the fangs of an ancient dragon, and lingering mist bathes the scene in mysterious twilight. When dawn's rays merge with the glassy surface, the granite crown appears to vanish, leaving only travelers treading a fragile line between reality and myth. If that bridge chilled you with rocky romance, the next giant proves that myths can breathe genuine fire. The somber skies of Da Nang are slashed by the dagger back of a dragon shimmering gold above the Han River. The 600-meter steel beast weighs almost 9,000 tons, yet by night seems as light as lightning. More than 2,500 LEDs transform its scales into an endless rainbow of hues. The main magic occurs every Saturday and Sunday precisely at 9 o'clock in the evening. The dragon's steel jaws open to spew a burst of fire, then a fountain of water, drenching the roadway in sparkling spray. Hundreds of spectators gather on the embankment, holding their breath to witness this ancient tale reborn in neon and mist. Our fiery show now yields to a road that appears to climb the clouds, striving toward the very sphere of heaven. In Sichuan's mountains, the Yaxi Expressway loops ascend with a mountaineer's persistence. Every 1,000 meters, the pavement lifts drivers about 7.5 meters, allowing cars to step ever higher toward thinning clouds. More than 270 viaducts and 25 tunnels weave into a colossal labyrinth connecting once isolated slopes. Astonishingly, an entire team of engineers finished the task in only 5 years, turning unassailable cliffs into a smooth serpentine. Upon reaching the summit pass, one realizes that even mountains bow before human resolve. From a rapid ascent, we move to a truly circular panorama of a modern megalopolis, painted by a single road. Viewed from above, Shanghai's Nanpu Bridge loop resembles a giant spiral labyrinth encircling a gleaming core. Nearly 8,000 plus meters of steel and concrete swirl into a perfect circle, letting approach roads shed steep grades without devouring precious urban land. Before the bridge opened in 1991, residents of both banks relied solely on ferries. Now the spiral serves as a bright artery linking historic quarters with the fast-growing Pudong district. Legend says the idea for the spiral sprang from the imagination of a 9-year-old boy, and who knows, perhaps a child's fantasy showed adult architects the unconventional trajectory. Leaving the luminous vortex ring, we head where bridges grow from tree roots. In rainy Meghalaya state, where torrential rivers overflow each monsoon season, the Khasi people found their answer in nature itself. By twisting the pliant roots of fig trees, they have for centuries cultivated crossings that can bear about 50 people. The most famous is the double-decker Umxiang Bridge near the village of Nongriat. It is reachable only on foot after hundreds of steep steps, but the reward is a meeting with a bridge that is truly alive. Each season, the roots keep stretching and strengthening. Now the craftsmen are weaving a third tier, hoping to entice even more curious travelers to their green temple of engineering. On Malaysia's Langkawi Island, more than 700 meters above sea level, sprawls a curved 100-meter gallery held aloft by a single steel pylon and 8 mighty stay cables. Visitors reach the platform by cable car, and the final components were flown in by helicopter-like pieces from a Titanic Lego set. 2 triangular terraces grant tourists panoramas of emerald jungle and sapphire sea, while the faint vibration beneath their feet reminds them they are indeed floating above the earth. For more than a century, this Gothic beauty has bravely spanned the banks of London, and every span echoes parades and royal processions. 2 towers capped with crenellations are linked by an upper walkway that offers a colossal view of the capital. Pride of place goes to the movable central section, which can rise to let ocean liners pass. Despite its age, the bridge serves tens of thousands of pedestrians and vehicles daily, and glass panels in the upper passage add spice. The swirling Thames flows right beneath your soles. From Britain's riverbanks, we travel to Vietnam, where 2 stone giants rise from the mist to cradle a golden ribbon of road. At the Ba Na Hills Resort in central Vietnam, an elegant 130-meter beam appears to float on the palms of ancient titans. Visitors swear the colossal hands are carved from rock, but inside lie steel pipes and fiberglass artfully masked with patina. The rails, painted gold, shimmer in the sun, while panoramas of mountains and tropical forest take the breath away. Architects aimed to connect sky and earth, gifting guests a stage for perfect shots where human lines entwine with nature. Having finished our tour of mystical heights, it is time to see a bridge that sketches a perfect circle right above the ocean. Off Uruguay's Laguna Garzon, architect Rafael Vignoli envisioned an elegant ring to replace old floating crossings. Completed in just 12 months, the concrete bowl with a 2-lane roadway looks like a soft brush stroke on a blue canvas of water. The circular shape forces drivers to slow, and the built-in pedestrian path with snow-white zebra stripes invites a stroll to mid-span to admire the crash of the surf-bound horizon. From South America, we shift to Northern Europe to traverse a route that disappears into waves and then re-emerges into daylight. A single wing beat, and you flit from Denmark to Sweden. That is how it feels when meeting the grand Resund Bridge. Its design resembles a 3-part puzzle. First, an 8-kilometer cable-stayed viaduct glides above the Öresund Strait. Then, travelers dive into a 4-kilometer underwater tunnel, and at the heart of the strait lies the man-made island Paberholm, a green oasis now home to more than 500 species of plants and birds. The ferry journey between Copenhagen and Malmö once took about an hour. Today, a 20-minute drive across the bridge erases a border, turning two cities into a single northern metropolis. Saxon Switzerland offers travelers a surprise. Above a 40-meter chasm among limestone spires stretches the graceful Bastei Bridge. 7 stone arches connect rocky pinnacles, and from the 75-plus meter walkway, you command fantastic views of the Elbe Valley and the tiny village of Rathen. Morning mist drifts through the arches, and you feel as if walking a colonnade of an ancient temple hovering over the river of time. For centuries, this nature-architecture tableau inspired German romantics, granting them stories of nature's grandeur and the fragility of a moment. To test our own courage, we go where a glass horseshoe hangs above one of Earth's greatest canyons. On the cliff edge of Eagle Point, nearly 1 mile above the raging Colorado River, the transparent horseshoe skywalk pierces the desert sky. The 20-meter cantilever of tempered glass can carry the weight of 70 heavy passenger airliners, a firm argument for doubters poised on its crystalline trail. Step forward and feel the void pause between your soles and the canyon. Just 8 layers of glass separate you from the dizzying height. Wind roams freely through steel supports, bringing the scent of sun-baked stone and the promise of adventure. From scorching Arizona, we move to the cool shade of Kentucky's maple forests, where nature carved its own stone bridge, needing no blueprints. In Natural Bridge State Park, time had plenty of eons to carve an arch from a solid marble monolith. It spans roughly 78 feet and rises more than 65 feet above the ground. While humans built viaducts, rivers spent millennia sculpting this stone, leaving an elegant lintel aloft. Today, a nearly 1-kilometer trail leads here, and for those wishing to save their strength, a skylift is in place. At the summit platform, you feel a slight tremor, not of fear, but of awe, for you stand atop a living geological chronicle. On the Peloponnese, near ancient Tiryns, lies the Arkadiko Bridge, the oldest surviving bridge on the planet. 3,000 years ago, craftsmen used Cyclopean limestone blocks set without a drop of mortar. Each stone holds thanks to precise fitting and the weight of its neighbors. Even modern cars once rolled over its cobbles, but to preserve it, only foot traffic is allowed now. Walking its back, you sense the Bronze Age breathe and realize you stand before a direct message from ancestors that outlasted endless wars and empires. Siosepol, its Persian name means 33 spans, and each arched window reflects in calm water, turning the bridge into a radiant chain. Built under Shah Abbas the Great, Siosepol served simultaneously as dam, roadway, and promenade. Graceful brick and stone masonry distributes weight so evenly that the structure has weathered centuries of floods and droughts. By evening, gentle lighting envelops the vaults in amber glow, and passers-by linger to hear the river run, like an ancient verse sung by Saadi. A century ago, the Dong people, using neither nails nor glue, joined riverside villages with a 65-meter corridor built on the dovetail principle. On its roof perch carved pagodas. Beneath the eaves lies a warm shelter from tropical rain. Wind whistles between wooden shingles, water murmurs below, and it becomes clear why the bridge is nicknamed the Wind and Rain House. Cheongyang encompasses the function of street, gazebo, and, most importantly, the spirit of a dynastic carpentry school where board meets board like lotus petals. Above the crowns of a tropical park, 7 steel arches sheathed in rare Millau wood form a ridge. Each bends like a wave crest, creating niches in which one can sit with a book and contemplate the horizon. At night, hundreds of LEDs illuminate the wooden petals from within, turning the bridge into a luminous jeweled bracelet. The Henderson Waves long ago entered the top 10 of the world's most unusual pedestrian bridges, and not by chance. A stroll along the undulating deck imparts the feeling that the entire urban space breathes with you. Nearly 2 millennia ago, the Romans supplied water to the Nîmes garrison via an aqueduct whose keystone was Pont du Gard. Hundreds of thousands of limestone blocks, set without mortar, rose in 3 tiers to nearly 50 meters high. Even after countless flood cycles, its arches proudly shoulder the sky, while sunbeams dance upon warm stone, telling of the empire's grandeur. Stand at its base and feel history pulse in the ridge masonry. Each of these bridges is a universe of its own, where audacious ideas meet the nature of materials. Which bridge truly captured your imagination? Perhaps you know still more breathtaking crossings. Share your stories in the comments, and who knows, maybe your suggestion will become the starting point for a new expedition to the planet's greatest bridges.